Good morning. Is everybody awake? Today we are going to be talking about Playable City Tokyo. It's playable, so we want everybody to be relaxed and casually listen while thinking about the subject. The subject is in regard to art, technologies, and cities. And this is a subject that has been discussed in various places, especially in regard to art. This is once again a recognition of this subject. In terms of technologies, technology has become something essential. Yesterday at Rhizomatics, there was a project that we were involved in, and there was a sensor placed in spectacles. All around us, we see technologies creeping into our lives. It has become an obvious thing to see technology in the environment around us. And then we are thinking about the subject of cities. There's going to be many changes that will take place in cities from here onwards. And in regard to Playable City, what I'm very much interested in is, since it's a playable city, it means that it is a city where you can enjoy and play. In regard to the concept of playable cities, I was greatly impressed by the fact that the element of play or enjoyment is the new perspective for looking at cities. For 2020 and beyond, much urban development is taking place, such as the Toranomon building and the Mori building there. And I've participated in various types of study groups. And in regard to what cannot be done, so what should be carried out is often discussed. There are many cases where the directions are changed even though nothing has really been attempted yet. And when it comes to Playable City, the first thing is to try and attempt something. That's the difference. And I think that Claire will be talking about more details in regard to the concept of a playable city, and what thinking is involved in this concept will be explained. What is Tokyo seeking right now? I'm sure that this has been discussed in various events, but I think we seriously have to think about this subject once again. Now, many people have pointed out that what I feel is an issue is what is considered forbidden or not allowed. In the Innovative City Forum of last year, there was an artist from Germany, and it was Karl Nicola, and at a designated spot for smoking, we talked together and we discussed about the fact that there's a tacit understanding of what is not allowed or what is specifically forbidden in signs and posters. For example, in parks, it's a public zone, and yet you're not allowed to play with your ball, you're not allowed to enter the pond, you're not allowed fireworks, you're not allowed to use skateboards, and you're not allowed to use that space after 9 o'clock at night. It's supposed to be public space, and yet it is not truly public. There's a lot of things like that happening. And of course, there are ordinances or laws or a variety of different factors at work. But whether these are really necessary or not should be reviewed. I believe that the times require this to happen. Another important thing, if we look at the scale of a city, there are many discussions about this, but what about the scale of a person? Are discussions carried out? Or to link the city with a person, I mentioned last year that the key word last year in Innovative City was considered to be the protocol. And city is a macro thing, and a person is a micro thing, but is it truly connected together? In our daily lives, At a person's level, there may be rubbish scattered about. There may be a bicycle that is parked somewhere. But on a city scale or on a person scale, are we truly looking at both perspectives? My thinking, or the thing that I've been feeling, is that much is thought on a city scale, but at a scale of a person or in the interim area, there is very little thought. So based on that type of thinking, Playable City is something that we were quite anxious to realize in Tokyo, and so therefore we discussed with British Council and Watershed, where Claire belongs to, as well as Mori Building and Wired Magazine, and this concept has been moving forward for about approximately 1 year now. And the very first event carried out in Tokyo was event, the Roppongi Art Night, where I was acting as the art director. This was something that was carried out, and there was a hello lamp post that was carried out, and more details will be explained by Claire later on. Another thing, which will be the theme of this talk, is in regard to the subject of art, technologies, and cities, and Claire and Tetsuya Mizuguchi participated in a panel discussion. And in regard to the aspect of cities and technologies, how can they converge together? How can they collaborate? Was discussed in this event. And we also looked into carrying out more Playable City workshops so that we can convey the results to more people. Consequently, we've decided to hold this event here today.